Social media was first invented in 1997 in the form of a website called 6 Degrees, which enabled users to upload a profile and make friends with other users. In 2004, Facebook was founded, followed by Instagram in 2010 and Snapchat 1 year later, followed by TikTok in 2017. In the world currently as it stands, 3.48 billion people use social media, and the average Brit spends 36 days a year scrolling through social media sites such as Facebook, Snapchat and Instagram. That's 36 days a year spent scrolling, 36 days which could be spent doing something meaningful instead. And so it begs the question, were phones always meant to take up so much of our time? And when did they start becoming such a problem? With more research now than ever, essentially confirming that using social media directly correlates to mental health issues such as anxiety and depression, and more psychiatrists, psychologists and doctors saying things such as
being addicted to likes as some sort of a,
it's a weird dopamine hit, right?
It's not healthy, and we need to learn to not care about that.
And it seems to me that whenever we probe these social media companies or try to ask some questions about what these apps are actually doing to us, or why they have whole teams designated to making them as addictive as possible, and they just reply with,
"Who cares? Don't ask so many questions."
I start to wonder how much good social media is actually doing to us, and if it's actually bringing any real benefit to our lives. So, in order to test this out, this is 30 days. No social media. Rewind the team. These last 2 months I haven't been my best self mentally, and I want that to change. Been doing a bit of research, and psychiatrists have been noticing that there's a direct correlation between social media use and high rates of depression, anxiety, basically people not being so great mentally, which is what I'm feeling at the moment. So I've decided that from this evening I'll be deleting all my social media for 30 days. I'm going to see how it turns out, see what happens. This is it. It's already been the evening and I'm already regretting this, honestly. Because part of the social media is I can't have YouTube as well. I mean, come on. Are you joking? Are you joking? Morning guys, is day 3 of the social media. Oh, sorry. Restart. Sorry, I just wasn't feeling it. Cut! No. Okay, 3.
Killing them in the UK, everybody gonna say UK. Reluctantly, cause most of this press don't fuck with me. Estelle once said to me, cool down.
Let's sign up to Wimbledon Martial Arts.
Hello to him, mate. Hope to see you soon. Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
At this stage, it was probably around day 14, and I had already noticed a massive change in the way I was feeling daily, and in essentially every aspect of my life, whether it was big or small, I was noticing positive change. Since quitting social media, I've learned lots of new habits, such as my beloved ukulele, which I've self-taught myself, not on YouTube, because that's banned, but my head, all self-taught by myself, and I finally play this every day. It really fills my time meaningfully. It's given me a new perception of the struggle of musicians, and the perception of the ukulele, the power of the uka.
Can we hear some?
Sorry?
Can we hear some of your UK? The uka.
Yeah. We'll just get it tuned up. you have to prime them first. Yeah, I'm not really feeling the vibe right now, but
Really? Oh.
yeah, it's
Probably
fine.
not.
Right, yes, it's true. I might not have done some passions, such as my ucker, but I have done old things. That does old arrow down the line, mate. Felix even. Clothing company. Oplan is a sustainable clothing company importing from...
Shut up, Seb. Nobody cares. You've only got 70 subscribers. You can't even be promoting anything. Who do you think you're going to sell it to? Absolutely no one, you mug.
Thanks for that, Bertha. Anyway, here's the video.
Yeah. I don't know why Chip mentioned my name, but devil man's trying to get attention again. Told you before, this year is the year of the real fake niggas get left in the rain. Think cause I'm up there sitting on the plane that I can't really hear what the people are saying, but I can hear everything loud and clear and they're telling me to tell you to stay in your lane.
Yep, that's it. Bit underwhelming, wasn't it? Anyway, if you want to watch the actual good one, you're going to have to wait till the next video. So, yeah. Here's a quick video done by Yes Theory's Thomas Bragg, which completely underpins the whole reason I'm doing this 30 days no social media, and it will give you guys some background info as to what my thoughts are on social media as well.
Professor of computer science at Georgetown University, and in addition to researching cutting-edge technology, he's the author of 6 books, including the New York Times bestseller, Digital Minimalism. In his book, he challenges the audience to do what he calls a digital decluttering, which means deleting all the optional apps off your phone for 30 days, which is exactly what I did. He argues that we should be much more selective about the technologies we adopt in our personal lives. Naturally, given his stance on social media, Cal is incredibly hard to reach, but after weeks of emails, we're finally able to set up an interview with him at his home in Washington, D.C.
All right. We good to go? Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us, Cal.
Of course, happy to do.
One question that I'd like to start with, do you think there's any benefits to social media?
Well, I see it more broadly. What we have in the foundation is the social internet, which I think is just more generally the ability to use the internet to connect with other people, express yourself, and find interesting ideas and information. That's incredibly powerful. So where the problems are coming from, it's what happened at some point in the history of social media as an industry, where you had a small number of these companies that had a lot of venture capital backing them, and they were looking ahead to, we have to do our IPO, we have to get our 100x return to our early stage investors. And so there's this period of re-engineering that started about 7 or 8 years ago, in which the actual experience of these apps was changed to try to induce you to use it a lot more. And this is when we got the rise of likes and favorites and tags for photos, because this changed the experience of social media from I'm posting, my friends are posting, to a vision where I hit this and I have social approval indicators waiting for me. Then we coupled that with putting in very smart statistical algorithms that start studying the users like data vectors and understanding what can we show them that's going to make them most likely to keep staring at the screen. That was entirely for revenue purposes, which again is why we see the like button didn't exist and then suddenly it's everywhere. Why? Because it gets you looking at your screen more and it gets you giving information about your preferences all day long, which makes that data vector that describes you to the marketers much richer. They can see what you're liking and what you're not liking.
So what do you think some of the main things that we've lost by just having access to this constant, like you call it, it's a slot machine in your phone where you're always looking for what you've got?
Right, and I have to say this, the slot machine analogy, which it was Tristan Harris, the sort of former Google engineer turned whistleblower, that was his analogy. It's actually literal. The attention engineers working in Silicon Valley took research that came out of Las Vegas casino gambling.
No way.
When trying to understand how to re-engineer the social media apps on the phone so that you use them more. Both Facebook and Instagram would artificially batch likes or favorites to better match these reinforcement schedules. So we don't want these to be trickled out too much. You're going to use this more compulsively if we actually hold these back. So this time you see none, and then maybe we release them in a big bunch. The next time they're actually looking at the reinforcement schedules from slot machines. And so there's really 3 things that seem to be happening. One, when you do this all the time to fill all your downtime, it keeps you away from higher quality pursuits. So it's not that this is bad, but if you were instead you know, out there with a friend training for the half Ironman, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's much better. The second thing is a problem is what psychologists call social snacking, which is we have a drive to be social, but a lot of people will replace real world interaction with this because this is easier. The problem is our brain doesn't recognize this the same way that it recognizes actually sacrificing time and attention on behalf of strengthening a connection, which is why we see these paradoxical studies where increased social media use correlates so strongly with increased loneliness. And then the third issue is we need solitude. So we need, on a regular basis, time alone with our own thoughts, not processing input from other people. And if you get rid of every last moment of solitude by doing this every time you're bored, it's not good for the brain. And one of the side effects of this is anxiety, which is why I think we have this sort of low-grade hum of anxiety in our culture right now that we all just take for granted. This is just the modern condition, where really what it is our brains yelling out, I need time away from inputs. I can't always be processing inputs from other minds. I need to just look at the things around me and think, and I need to do that every day. And the interesting thing about discomfort is that it's true that a lot of the things that are really important for human flourishing require some discomfort. So what was the solution from evolution to get us to still do them? Is we got these strong drives. Part of where we've gotten into trouble today is that modern technologies have given us a way to short circuit those drives. So we have the strong drive, the sociality, that's supposed to get us out there and do the hard work of being there and connecting with our community, our close friends and our family. But you can short circuit that drive by looking at Instagram or Facebook. Boredom is this powerful drive to get us out there to do high quality type of leisure activities or the type of things that make us feel alive as humans. But you have these sort of very pleasing distractions on your phone, and it can give you an immediate response to the boredom. It short circuits the drive. So we're short circuiting the drives that are supposed to push us into the discomfort, which is why I think like the type of work you're doing with Yes Theory is so important, is that you have to essentially re-educate people about, hey, these things that are uncomfortable actually can be a source of real flourishing. Now, the internet can play a huge role boosting these very high quality activities. So like, let's say I want a more high quality hobby, I'm into this maker culture, I'm gonna build whatever. Well, the internet is great in the sense that it can connect you not just to other people who are working on it, but a lot of information about how to do this. But this is the internet at its best, is where it's supporting these high quality leisure activities that give us a huge return. Where it becomes at its worst is where it subverts them. It becomes a replacement. And now when you start adding the technology back, you get these sort of really well-balanced lives where like you're predominantly spending your time doing things that are quite meaningful, and then you're strategically deploying tech, giving you these little boosts and supports for this life of values you built.
Just to wrap this up, the connection that we made that was the most interesting to me was that when we're bored, we used to have the motivation to go do things. What we have to be careful of is being aware of not feeling that boredom constantly with social media, because it might actually reduce our motivation to go out and create and do more things.
If you feel an instinct that's been around for a long time, be wary of fulfilling it with something that's been around for 10 years.
Thank you so much, Cal.
Thank you.
This has been super interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I don't really need it. I've actually been more social the time when I haven't had social media this last month. I've seen like so many more people. I've definitely learned that I'm never going to use social media in the same way that I previously have. I probably will install it, but it's not really necessary tool. I mean, I've seen more people and been more social, and made more contacts when I haven't had social media than when I have had it for the last however long it's been. So I think that kind of says it all really. But I managed to actually plan my trip around the world, had some time to do some actual important shit. And it's not quite at the end yet, but I've still got a week and a half or whatever left, but my prediction came true. Video is going very well. Not. Where's my iPhone?
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells ring and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing, but bushels of fun.
So, it's finished. My 1 month social media is over, and I can say for sure that it has been one of the most impactful months of my life. I'm not sure if you could see it, but at the start of this video, I was feeling depressed, anxious, and feeling like crap in general. I had a hunch that this was to do with social media, and to test this out, I set out to challenge myself by living without something that had up to that point played such a big part in my life. 1 month on, and I am more sure than ever that it has been one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. I've managed to actually chase passions of mine and fill my time with meaningful things which I always wanted to do but never did. But I've also made more time for those people who mean the most to me, and I've made more connections and new friendships off social media in 1 month than I have with social media in the last 5 months. My mental health has only got stronger, and although I am slightly concerned that I'm leaving tomorrow for the next 6 months, I do feel prepared, and that's because I've had some time alone to think about the consequences of social media. During this 30 days challenge, I have acknowledged that social media can be good in some ways, and it's still a really useful tool, but at the moment as it is, my social media is currently uninstalled on my phone, and I plan on keeping it like that until I want to re-download it. However, I know now, more than ever, that social media is toxic, and it's really important to take breaks from it. So, I challenge you, without making any excuses about why you need social media so much, or why you won't be able to survive without social media, because you will, to quit social media for 7 days and see if it has the same monumental positive effect upon you as it did on me. If you liked the video, try and give it a like, and maybe even go one step further and subscribe. Anyway, this was 30 days no social media. Thank you, and see you next time. Also, a special shout out to all the amazing artists whose songs I used in this video. All their links to their songs will be in the description down below. And to Thomas Bragg from Yes Theory for essentially inspiring me to create this video. It's been an amazing month. And yeah, I'll see you next time.